If there is one skill that separates an average voice agent from a production ready one, that is prompting. Welcome to the most comprehensive prompting guide. When I say the most comprehensive, I genuinely mean it. Because in this video, we will start first of all with the fundamentals like the building blocks of prompts of voice agent. Once we have this information, we'll move forward for the best practices and the common mistakes that a beginner do while writing their prompts. After this, we will be going to see some examples of production ready prompts so that we understand how these concepts come together in real world deployments. Finally, we will put together everything into practice by creating a complete prompt from scratch. We'll apply all these concepts. If you are new to the channel, welcome. This is the part 3 of our course in which we'll be going from zero to an advanced level where we can build and sell voice agents. With that being said, let's get started. All right, let's get started with the building blocks. So first of all, we have to understand that prompt is something that we have to give an AI agent as a mind, as an instruction. We have to give it its role, its personality, how to handle the calls, the constraints, instructions, and knowledge base, right? So this is exactly what the building blocks are. Let me go in detail. So first of all, we have identity slash role. So when you hire a new employee, obviously you give it its role, that this is your role, and identities you give it its name, its personality. That's exactly what it is. So let's suppose you are a receptionist for Acceleration, which is our agency, and you have to do XYZ. This is its role and its personality. Next thing is that voice and conversational style, how you have to speak. Is it energetic, empathetic, conversational, how it should speak? Like, for example, use short sentences, take pauses, listen to the customers. These all are the part of voice and conversational style, right? And finally, we have tools. Tools are the different actions that your AI agent can perform. Let's suppose it can book your appointment in your calendar. It can check your calendar if you are available. It can transfer call. It can send an email. So we have to give it these tools and their names and what they can use these tools for. Next, we have call flow. So this is very important. This is a kind of script that you give your voice agent to avoid any sort of hallucination, and you can control the way the call will go. For example, you start with opening, then it should, like, how it should start opening, then how it should greet everyone, and then how they answer questions. Then next step, how they can transition to your CTA or call to action. For example, if you have any sort of booking call with your expert, or you want to send them your lead magnet, whatever that is. So this is inside this flow. And how to end a call, this is overall. We will be covering this in detail because this is very important. And it will be different for inbound, because inbound you have, like, you don't have any information, someone calls you. For outbound, you have already information about them, their business. So there will be few changes that we will obviously cover. Next is the constraints. Constraints are like, basically you tell it like what are the things that you should avoid. Let's suppose never make an information from inside, because AI sometimes hallucinate, right? So you have to tell it and stay within company policies. Let's suppose you have given it knowledge base, and you have given it like, these are the policies that you have to follow. Don't make any quote and share pricing. Just book a call with them, right? And finally, knowledge base. So knowledge base will not be a part of prompt if it is too long. Let's suppose company information, services, FAQs. If these all information are way larger, let's suppose 500 words to 600 words, then we will create this knowledge base differently, and we will give it access to this particular knowledge base in a form of tool. Like, it can use this information, but it will be not the part of the prompt. Obviously we'll cover everything, don't worry. So this is the building blocks of voice agents. So in here we have discussed how to give it identity, role, how it should be speaking, what are different tools that can use, what is the script of overall call for inbound and for outbound, and finally what are the constraints and knowledge base, the information that it have access to so that it can answer the calls. Let's see a few examples. So we have these two examples. One is for my agency, an AI inbound receptionist, and one is for a service-based business, an outbound receptionist. So we have both examples. So we are now giving it a role that you are here to qualify leads, book appointments, handle customer support, and automate the business communication. So this is where a role is, and then we have given it a identity as well. What are the things that you have to do, right? Next thing is the voice and conversational style. Let's suppose sound natural and conversational. So this is a kind of style of conversation. And next we tell it like, for example, use simple language, only ask questions, one question at a time, allow caller to speak first. So these are different practices that you can use. And finally, available tools. So we have these different tools like query tool for information about business, check availability for checking availability in your calendar, book appointment, forward a call, end a call. These are different tools. And finally, the most important part of a prompt is a conversational flow. So as you can see, it is for inbound, right? So it starts with like, thank for calling acceleration, how I can help you today. And then it answer calls. And if they have any question, it can answer based on this particular tool. And then finally, it will transition towards a discovery call. And then if they are interested, it will ask these questions one at a time. So this is overall script, right? So I am specifying every single thing, like do this. If they say yes, do this. If they say no, do this instead. So we have all the things specified so that AI does not hallucinate, right? And the same goes for booking appointment. And finally, at the end, we have these system constraints in which we told an AI agent, so these are the things that you don't have to do. For example, never invent any information from your own side. Always use a query tool to answer questions. All these things, right? And now let's go for an outbound. So the difference between inbound and outbound would be just a call flow. So as you can see, it starts the same with identity, then it goes with the tools, different tools, like available tools. And then finally, the call flow in outbound, we have information about what is the phone number of the lead and what is the actual name of the lead or the client. So in this case, we use this double curly braces to specify the name. So obviously it is a kind of variable. It will be changed client to client. So it starts with like, hi, is this John? You responded to one of our ads. Is it a good time to talk? So it starts with like that, right? And then it goes all the same things: ask questions, clarify answers, and finally transition toward the call. So if you have any sort of call to action or a lead magnet, so in this case, we have booking call, and finally we have the same constraints. So this is the primary difference between them. By the way, these both prompts will be down given below in description. So there will be a Google Drive link that you can open, and there you'll have all this information along with the Claude scale that we are now using. So before writing a prompt, we have to now understand what are the best practices and the common mistakes while writing these prompts. Let's see that. So these are some rules of thumb that you should be following always while writing prompts. So first off, we start with like keep your prompt short, because a longer prompt will increase the latency and it will also cause hallucination. So the best thing is like keep it short. There is a platform called Word Counter. So you can always paste your prompt. And let's suppose in this case, I'll copy this one and paste it in here. As you can see, it's like 778. So you have to keep it between 600 to 800. This is like a golden rule. So next thing is that before writing your prompt, right? Before asking AI anything, so you have to specify every single thing, like what will be the call flow, what are different questions that it should be asking. So once you write all of them clearly, you will be able to write your prompt very, very accurate. And this is very useful. Next thing is that give your AI access to the current time. So in this example, as you can see, if you have noticed that we have this string called current time. So let me zoom in a bit. So current time is now, date, these things. So this is basically give it an idea what is the current time. So obviously it will be booking appointments, it will be checking availability. So we don't want it to guess the current time. We want to give it exactly the same time, right? So this is a good rule. Next thing is raw a markdown format, as we discussed. Like we should convert this text into a markdown so that AI can read. So it can see if there is any sort of lists or if there is any sort of headers, it will be able to see them out. And next thing is that choose the right model. This is also a very important point. So if you are using like a short AI agent, which is responsible for just inbound calls, and it doesn't have any, backend APIs, you can simply use different models like GPT-4o. But if you are using a complex agent and it have a lot of APIs, tools, all those things, then you can use GPT 4.1. By the way, I'll mention all the list of the best models that you can use based on your use case down below. The next and the very final and the most important one is test and fix. So basically what you have to do is follow the circle again and again, that you have to write a prompt, you have to test it in any wise platform, and then you identify where you can improve, and then you improve those all points and test it again, and repeat this cycle again and again until you get your best prompt. Now, once we have all this information, let's write our prompt from scratch. So open the link of a Google Drive folder. So you'll find something like this. Click on the prompting resources, and in here you'll find templates for inbound, outbound, and also prompt writer skills. So download these, all of them, and head over to your Claude. Go to settings, go to skills, and add upload a skill, right? And select the folder that you have downloaded. Once you have downloaded that, you have to type slash select the skill. So in this example, we have voice AI prompt writer, right? And then also upload a template that you have downloaded. So let's suppose inbound template. And then what you have to do, the way I've told you, that before writing any prompt, you have to specify your whole flow. What are the tools? What are its responsibilities to do that? And once you have that, just paste that all information in here, the way I did, right? So and click on it. So it will take some time. It will come up with a draft, obviously, that you can check. Go to your favorite voice platform and paste in the prompt, test it again and again, and you'll have your final prompt. So let's wait and let's see what it come up with. So as you can see, it took some time and now it have asked me some questions. To clarify, it asked me about role and identity, voice and personality. If you're using the same skill, it will ask you all these questions. Different tools, I've specified them, call flow, and finally, it have drafted me this prompt that we can obviously check it out. So as you can see, it started with the same current time, which is very good. Then it started with voice and personality, query tool, picking availability tool, booking appointment tool, and finally call flow, which started with the same call flow, closing, how to close it, and finally constraints, right? So one final thing that we have to check is copy all of this, and let's go to word counter, and let's see how many words we got. So I'll paste this all. So as you can see, we have 900 words. So we have to see where it have over explained stuff, and we have to repeat the cycle until and unless we get that perfect prompt that we want. Let's do one final thing, that come back in here, and we will ask it like simple, right? So we have already specified the rule inside that skill, how to make it shorter, how to avoid any important information. So it will consider all of them. So let's wait. And after a bit of thinking, it come up with this version, which should be shorter. So yeah, it seems to be. So I'll copy this all. Sorry, I'll copy this all, and let's go back to our checker. And as you can see, we have now 520. So next step is copy this and paste it inside Wise platform like Vapi Retail and test it if it's working perfectly. So if not, mark all those mistakes and come back to Claude and try to fix them. So repeat this cycle until and unless you get your perfect prompt. So that's overall it. All right, that's pretty much it. You are now certified prompt engineer. Congratulations. You don't have to watch any other video for prompting. Again, every single resource will be down given below in the description. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next upcoming videos. That's it for this video.